We are out in the garage here. This is going to be an introduction to a new playlist, I guess, on the old F125 Yourself page. Uh, we had the kids out for the first time. It's Monday, the 28th of August. Working. You'll see the China shop videos I took Friday and Saturday. Maybe one I did on Sunday too. Maybe I won't put that one up. It's because it's kind of corny. Didn't quite get everything done out there in Saturday afternoon. So figured I would cut the grass first on Sunday and then do as much as I could because I ran out of the correct length screws. I went to the Redneck supply store and bought the right length, but they're Chinese. They're just junk. And so I used stripped 3 of them right away and decided I'm taking that box of screws back. Didn't get everything done. Screwed up a piece of the plywood because of the fatigue factor Sunday night, and came home covered in sawdust. The kids met me at the curb, asked me, hey, did it rain Saturday? Because they didn't come out because we told them it was going to rain. We was going to bring the cart with me on Friday and take them to the elementary school right down the street and do a little go-karting on Saturday. And so they were bummed out. They were bummed out they didn't get to go. And then, of course, they were even more bummed out when I had to tell them the truth that it didn't rain out there Saturday. So I told them, you know what? Listen, I cut the grass out there. I don't need to go back on Monday. Their dad, being a UPS driver, his day off is Monday. You smell what I'm cooking? That's right. I sent at 10:30 in the morning. I sent a text message next door and said, hey, you guys all up and around over there? What's going on? Next thing I know, the kids are over in their jammies. They want to eat breakfast, so we give them some Lucky Charms and some Cocoa Puffs. Uncle Bub had some coffee. Talked with Dad. We loaded the go-kart in the truck and we went over to the university, or not the university, it's a community college right off the half-mile road we're on here. Steve Pastiner knows the place well. He does the toy show or whatever out there once a year. We were just west of the Expo Center, brand new parking lot. The police actually came about 10 minutes into us being there in what we thought was a safe enough open area, and it was an old kind of rough parking lot. And the police officer said, I'm not here to tell you can't do it. I'm telling you, you need to go over to this other place on the southwest corner. The asphalt was brand new. The yellow stripes were bright yellow. There was no driveway in and out over there. So we're in the corner and there was nobody parked over there. So it ended up working out really good. He actually drove by a few times to make sure everything was safe and cool, giving the kids a thumbs up. Everything was good. So we'll run you through those the handheld videos, and there's one actual onboard video of Brayden, of all people. We thought Brooklynn was going to be the speed demon and Brayden would be scared of the noise. He doesn't like it when my air compressor kicks on. He runs out of the garage. He doesn't like lawnmowers. He doesn't really like noise, so we didn't think he was going to take to this at all. So the first cart we put together was Brooklyn's. And when we got over there, Brooklyn looked at me and said, Brayden's going to go first, with this look on her face. Like she was intimidated. She was nervous. And so Bray tried to do a couple laps, and every time he'd turn, the cart would come to a stop because he was trying to take it easy. And that's when the police came and told us to go to another area. But before I put the kids in it at all, we drop it on the ground. I sat on top of the seat back, grabbed the steering wheel. I stepped on it, man, and it almost pulled a wheelie. It's got 12 teeth on the clutch, 70 teeth on the axle. It's governed. It's a Predator, the 212 Predator, but it's governed, right? So on the stand, you gas it, and it instantly hits the rev limiter, and the wheels don't look like they're turning that fast. I took off, man, that thing takes off. Even with my 230-pound rear end on it, it took off pretty quick, and it was ripping around. I was going in a circle. And my brother-in-law, Joe, says, man, that thing looks like it's probably going 30, 40 miles an hour. I said, it feels like it's going 40. And the kids, they only weigh 60 and 65 pounds. So we didn't have any tools. We had to tell them, and Joe said that they'll be okay. They got to learn one way or another. So told them just to take it easy, just push on the pedal a little bit to get it rolling and just kind of hold it there. And Brooklyn was just having a hard time. When she'd start to turn, she'd let off the gas. Right, Brain would tell you back off. She'd turn and it would stop. She'd get on the gas and the thing would take off, spin the tires. She had a hard time. She'd go 4, 5, 6 laps and then she'd want out. But by the end of the day, what you'll see last probably is the video of Brayden. It's actually split in two. He went 21 minutes from the time I turned the camera on to the time he stopped and I shut it off. He did make 2 pit stops for some instruction, but he did really, really well. 21 minutes, 100, at least 100 feet apart between light posts on that smooth. You could see tire money. They had a line going in the parking lot, so that was. I was pleasantly surprised that Brayden was really into it, and now that we know he's into it, we'll spend the $400 or $500 to get everything for his cart put together, and I think his sister will do a lot better chasing him. It's always easier. It's hard to cut good laps in practice or whatever when you're out there by yourself, right? But when you get in the race, the racers always say the race is good for at least a second a lap, because once you start chasing somebody, you don't realize that you're driving harder because you're trying to catch up or pass or whatever. So I think the same thing's going to work with the kids. But flawless. We had no issues. The only issue we had when we tried to run them clockwise, because they were running counter. When we tried to run them clockwise, when it was real low on fuel, they'd turn the corner and it would stall. It actually did it to Brooklyn as well when the tank was probably half full. But I think it had to do with maybe the idle's too low and they let off the gas too long and it would just stall. It would die. So we tried sending Bray out with half choke and it still would die. So I told him, I said, you know what, just go the other direction. Just go counterclockwise. And it ran fine. It worked fine. So maybe we got a little fuel delivery issue. And if that's the case, maybe we do go to a fuel pump and use the big gas tank. That way we won't have to worry about running out of gas. Brayden, I'm going to rough estimate. He might have done 80 to 100 laps. Surely 80 laps, because he did 60 in one run. So he got a lot of time in that go-kart today. And look, I mean, he knocked the roughies right off those tires, man. And he was, I mean, it wasn't on the ragged edge or nothing like that. But I mean, for kids with no background, no bloodline. I mean, they've only been to the enduro race track twice. They don't know a lot about it. They don't have it in their blood, you know, to be able for Bray to be able to pick it up like that. And of course, being the one that we didn't think was going to be picking it up, pleasantly surprised. So directly, we need to go down to Harbor Freight and get us another motor. We know where to order the motor mount, the chain, the clutch, and the sprocket from. And that's really all we need to get his go-kart running. We throw a throttle cable on it. And he's already got the new brake pads on his kart too. So good to go. We'll get them both out hopefully next time. And hopefully they'll have some fun. Just wanted to bring you this little pre-video or prep video to what you're going to see, this barrage of kitty videos that on their own would be relatively boring to watch. And maybe they still will be, but I was having a good time. So look at that. The new era begins. Little Brayden having a good time. Says, my hands are hurting, bub. From the steering wheel vibrating, my hands are sore, my hands are sore. And I'd keep asking him, you want to stop then? You want to park it? Or do you want to go? Oh, no, I'll go some more. He said, I'll go some more. 2 or 3 times that happened. So the new era begins. And just in time.